According to a Lingokids survey, 68% of children significantly increase their screen time during the summer months, an activity that could be negatively impacting their brain. Dr. Hisham Ghonim, assistant professor of neurology at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, says the conversation of screen time is a frequent one with patients.
When we think about screen time, we think about their impact on our kids and how they respond to it. It has a lot of negative stigma. People are kind of afraid of that new thing since it's a new era and we have a lot of screens around us and a lot of digital media. So people are associating that with, kind of like putting negative connotations on it.
Linda Reddish with the University of Nebraska Early Childhood Center says when kids increase screen time over the summer, it is known as the summer dip.
The risk is the amount of time that's ticking up that children are on screen, right? The average now is about 2.5 hours a day on screen use, which means then they're not engaged in learning activities or other kinds of really things that are appropriate for their age. And then at the same time, there's a risk of inappropriate or not developmentally appropriate things online. The benefit is it can be something that you do together so that both you and the child are learning about how to navigate this space.
Reddish encourages parent involvement because studies on screen time is still so new. Previously focused on watching quantity, studies now suggest co-viewing.
The presence of an adult, when you're asking about long-term impact, that can actually be buffered by the presence of a caregiver, a family member, a teacher who's present with the child and engaging with the child when it comes to screen time use.
Ghonim says it is not all negative, depending on time of exposure, age of the person, what content kids are being exposed to, and what time of day it is.
In patients who have prominent exposure and frequent exposure, especially those exposed in, like the preschool age or when 2-3-year-olds, they have found that there's some association with the white matter of the brain, the development of the white matter of the brain.
The brain is like a processor with wires coming out to the rest of the body. The white matter represent the wires that communicate to the rest of the body.
We think about our prefrontal cortex as our executive center. This is what we use for judgment. This is what we use to kind of inhibit bad behavior and stimulate good behavior, for example. And so there's been an association between the development of that prefrontal cortex as well as all the wires coming out of that prefrontal cortex and going to different parts of the brain in kids who have prolonged exposure to screen time.
Ghonim says that there have been no studies yet to show the long-term impacts and the ability for the long-term effects to be reversed. Ghonim and Reddish suggest creating a media plan and balancing screen time. Reporting from Lincoln, I'm Morgan Ahlstrom, NTV News.